Sport biopics are among the most iconic film genres ever produced in Indian cinema. These films usually revolve around the life of sports personality, and I say this usually because they tend to include everything: love stories, song, dance numbers, dramatic background stories, the whole package, Well, that makes them commercially appealing and entertaining, and I enjoy them too, but they often stray far from the sport itself. Somewhere along the way, the essence of the sport, the heart of the athlete's struggle, gets lost. That's why it's so refreshing when a film comes along that strips all that away. The unnecessary distractions, the melodrama, everything, and just focuses on the sport itself and the passion behind it, essentially. And now the beautiful simplicity of competition is beautifully portrayed in films like Rush and certain documentaries that you see, like the MJ one or the Alex Ferguson one. These manage to capture that rawness, They don't eliminate personal story. They just include them, but they never let those elements overpower the sport itself. And that balance, my friends, is extremely rare these days. So why am I talking about? Because a movie just dropped, released yesterday from Korean cinema, a film called The Match. And let me tell you, this movie is a breath of fresh air. The Match belongs to a genre that has nearly disappeared, not just in Hollywood, but across the world cinema. A film genre where the focus is its sport itself and the relationship between two great players. There's no glittery noise, no romantic subplots shoehorned in it, just pure sport. That's what makes The Match such a revelation. The film centers around the ancient board game Go, a strategic game the most popular in South Korea but played across several East Asian countries. It's basically their version of chess, if you want to know it in a bystander point, but far more mathematically intense and abstract. And I'll be honest, I knew nothing about the Go game going into this film. Zero. But the film's screenplay is so brilliantly crafted that it sucked me in. It made me understand just how vital the game is to the people who play it. And if you want to talk about the story itself, it's based on two real-life Go legends, Hun-hyun and Lee Chang-ho, and stars the phenomenal Byung-hun and Hun-hyun in the lead roles. It's essentially a master-disciple narrative. The film explores the relationship between a mentor and his student, how the student eventually surpasses the master, and what happens after it. It's a statement. It's an overall great statement. What makes this screenplay shine is its accessibility. Even though I had no prior knowledge of Go, the film taught me the basics organically without feeling like a lecture. It introduces us to the unique terminology Go game players use and explains it clearly without slowing you down the pace. The exposition is seamless. It respects both newcomers and fans of the sport alike so much that it actually dwells on it so perfectly. Now let's talk about Lee Byung-hun. This man, wow. Truly one of the greatest actors in Korean cinema, He doesn't need to say much. He conveys everything with his eyes so much, his posture, that the subtle shift in expression is just a rare ability to do, to do less but somehow say more. His performance is masterful, so much that he was inducted into the Korea's National Award Circle for this role. He embodies the mentality of the champion, but also the hunger to win after the fall. Two sides of a champion played brilliant. Hun-hyun plays Lee Chang-ho, the prodigy. And now the portrayal of Hun-hyun is so much restrained, it might even feel blunt or underwhelming. But that's intentional actually. Unlike his other films like Burning, where he created a character from the scratch, he's embodying a real person, somehow with an actual legacy. That makes the portrayal more subdued and more focused on the precision than flair. And that contrast actually works. Lee Byung-hun carries the intensity and Hun-hyun balances it with subtlety. The film doesn't ask both the leads to be explosive, It just thrives on the tension between their energy. And here's what it gets interesting, The film was shot almost 5 years ago. Yes, it went through one of the worst production hells in Korean cinema recently. And the reason? Hun-hyun's personal controversies, legal battles, societal backlash, you name it. Because of this, the film got stuck in the limbo. Yet somehow, despite this rocky road, The Match finally saw the day of light this year with a modest theatrical release in Korea, followed by a global streaming rollout. What's remarkable is that none of the turmoil is visible in the final product. The film seems cohesive, sharp, and emotionally powerful. The direction is tight. The screenplay, as I've said, is perfectly paced. Just imagine, so many controversies, nothing affects the film. Within the first 2-3 minutes itself, you're pulled into the world of Go. You meet the character of Chang-ho and you instantly understand this guy is a champion. There's no need for 10 flashbacks or a monologue. You just know, And from that moment onwards, the film never lets go of your attention. And here's another reason that this film deserves so much praise. It's also a period drama. The story spans the 1960s, the 70s, and the 80s, and the decades that are incredibly hard to recreate authentically on screen. But the match nails it. Without relying on heavy CGI or artificial glamour, the production design transports you to that era. The clothes, the buildings, the lightings, the sounds, it all feels so much real. You believe it, and that's incredibly rare in this age of digital access. Now here's my final verdict. If you want to experience a sports biopic that respects the sport, that respects the players, that doesn't water itself down with unnecessary distraction, please watch The Match. It's not just a good film, it's a brilliant one, a rare gem that brings you back to the lost genre, a film that shows us that the soul of sports cinema is still alive, and you just have to know where to look. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.